Midland Sports.
We've got the quarterback of the Rams, Kody Shinar, here on the show. And Kody, man, congrats on the season so far. I know you're 8-0, but do you feel like, there's still unfinished business? You guys were so successful, obviously, last year, in the championships at the CIF Southern Section level, the state level. Do you feel like, man, 8-0 is nice, but the expectation at Ramona now is a little bit bigger? You guys have big goals this season. Is that safe to say, and why?
Yeah, just coming off of last year's state championship. I mean, obviously there's, kind of not really an expectation, but a goal to be, try to go back to back. And, just being 8-0 right now is really a blessing,
What do you remember about last season? I mean, I know you weren't playing quarterback, but you were, still playing for the team. And, what do you remember about that championship run? And how does this season feel? I don't know, maybe the same, maybe it feels different. Maybe there are some similarities with this year's team and this year's season. What do you remember about last year?
Last year, I just all throughout playoffs, after every win, just feeling good, feeling more and more confident every week after each win. And it feels like the same this year, after every win, we just keep on building up our confidence.
Kody, I'll be honest, rewind 2 seasons ago, and there was that great senior class, of course, Ramona royalty, Bo Bruins, Nate Johnson, all those guys, Jordan Daniels. And, all those guys graduated. And I'm like, oh, man, Ramona might take a dip. I hope not, but they might take a little bit of a dip. And then you guys go and win, CIF and a state championship. And then I thought, well, I don't know, maybe this year they're going to take a little bit of a dip. And now you guys are 8-0. You're like better than ever. I mean, are you even surprising yourself? Or did you kind of feel like, man, we got a pretty good team? Even before the season began, you felt pretty strongly about your team.
Yeah, going into the season, obviously we had a lot of confidence, but being 8-0 kind of surprises me. But going into this year, I kind of knew that we had a great squad, bringing back a whole bunch of linemen and Sincere and Troy Long, just a whole bunch of guys, and the coaching staff has done a really good job of building up some of these younger guys like Isaac Mata. So, yeah, it really just feels good right now, with this kind of younger team almost.
Kody, we see your highlights on the Friday Night Pep Rally, and I feel like every week it's like you're either throwing like the perfect pass or you're like rushing for 4 touchdowns. I'm like, dude, this guy does it all. So if I was going to ask you to kind of describe your game as a quarterback, how would you kind of describe the way you play the position?
I guess I kind of like a Swiss Army knife because, I can throw the ball, but, running has been like a big part of my game, especially after last week. Rushing for 3 touchdowns, it just feels good to always, if I'm not throwing the ball well, I can run it. And if I'm not running the ball well, I can throw it. So it's nice being versatile like that.
What's kind of your relationship with Coach Mush? I mean, he's a quarterback, he's obviously well respected in our area, coming off that championship season from last year, and he's coached a bunch of different places. So he knows what he's talking about. So, what kind of advice, what kind of tips does he give you in terms of being a better quarterback to lead this offense?
Yeah, so I've known him for a pretty long time now with obviously Zach playing under him for a while and, my mom working at Ramona. So he's like a second dad. We talk a lot. We have great conversations about what I need to do to get better, how to run the offense better. So, yeah, it's great having a really good relationship with my coach.
So, Kody, what are the goals of this team? I know that the championship last year was Division 11, I think it was, right, for CIF. And then the state finals. I know we still have 2 weeks of regular season, so it's kind of hard to predict what division you guys might end up for playoffs. But at the end of the day, to you, I mean, does it matter if you're Division 6, Division 8? The goal is the same, man, to go all the way, right?
Yeah. So our goal right now is to finish the season 10-0, and once we get placed into our division, no matter the division, obviously the end goal is to win it all.
Okay, so Kody, through the first 8 games, is there a specific game or a play or something that happened maybe behind the scenes that when you look back so far on this season, you're like, man, that's when I look back on this year, I'm going to remember this moment or this game or this play or this touchdowns. There's something that kind of just sticks out to you like, man, that was a really cool moment, for me and for this team.
There's actually quite a few, obviously the game-winning touchdown against Poly, that rings a bell. But the whole game against Norte Vista, just being tied at halftime 14-14, and then just us coming out of half and being the dominant team, it really, especially a win because we lost to them last year, a win over them this year really felt good for us.
It's funny because we see some of these high school football scores come in on Friday night, and sometimes I'm like, man, I thought I knew what was going on, and then I don't know what's going on because, you and Pauly battle. You guys came back at the end and won that game, and then you played Norda Vista, who we thought, one of their best teams ever, according to, their head coach, Ken Batdorf. And you guys go out there and beat them by 3 touchdowns, 35-14. So, and I think you beat Rancho Mirage on the road by 1. Has it been kind of an up and down season? I mean, how would you kind of describe the season that you guys have had so far?
Yeah, I think collectively as a team, we can only really say that we played like a really, not really perfect game, but a complete game against Norda Vista. We have had our ups and downs, but, Pauly's a good team. They're 2-6 record, I think it is. That does not describe how they are as a team. They're a very good football team. And, going out to Rancho Mirage, that was kind of a tough game. It was weird, going out to the desert. It was hot, humid, just playing a whole bunch of people we don't really know. So, yeah, it's really been a kind of funky season almost.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, whether you're winning by 1 on the road or you're beating Norda Vista by 3 touchdowns, at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win, right? Do you just kind of say, okay, we found a way to win. That's the good news. Like, whether it was close or not close, at the end of the day, you found a way to win, right?
Yeah, so basically after every game, we always talk, and at the end of the day, we are 8-0. No matter how bad or how good we played, so, every win, feels good.
All right, Kody, I'm going to put you on the spot because I don't know this answer, and I don't know if you know it either, but the last time Ramona went undefeated in the regular season, you guys have had great seasons at Ramona, but I can't remember the last time a Rams team went 10-0. Like, do you happen to know by chance?
I don't think there ever has been, because I remember my older brother, his, I think, senior year, they went 9-1, and that was like a record-breaking season going 9-1, and then they did it the next year with the class of 23. So, yeah, so I think if we go undefeated, it'd be the first in our school's history.
So, let's see. I think you have, Rubidoux this week? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then Patriot in week number 10, the last
Correct.
2 weeks. So, what's kind of the mindset that you guys stay focused, right? I mean, you don't want to stub your toe on a team that you might be the favorite, going into the game, but how do you guys stay focused and make sure you win those games that you're supposed to win and get that 10-0 record and go, headstrong into the playoffs feeling like you got a chance to make a deep run? How do you keep that mindset, that focus?
Yeah, just making sure everybody's working hard at practice, staying in the weight room, watching film, all of that, taking one team at a time, not looking ahead too far. But yeah, we know Rubidoux is pretty good this year, and Patriot has a pretty strong team this year. So,
yeah, Patriot's got a great running back, Josiah Felix. We've seen him a little bit, and then Rubidoux. I was out there for the first half against Norda Vista, and I'm like, man, Rubidoux's doing exactly what Norda Vista does. They're playing, they're winning the line, and they're running the football real hard. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was a 1-point game at halftime. So you just never know. You never know what's going to happen in these games.
Yeah, so I know Rubidoux has a pretty good quarterback, sophomore.
Yeah.
And we know Patriot likes to run the ball with number 4. So those are going to be 2 pretty good games.
All right, Kody, finally, finish this sentence for me. The Ramona Rams need to blank to win a league championship and go deep in CIF.
I think we just need to stay focused and, stay to our brand of football, not trying to do too much. Everybody just doing their assignment, staying on task, just really working hard. And I think we could end this season with another ring.
That's awesome. That's Kody Shinar, the quarterback of your Ramona Rams here on the Inland Sports Show. Kody, congratulations on all the success so far. And hopefully it is school history. Hopefully in a couple of weeks we're talking about, 10-0 and River Valley champs and school history and all that good stuff. But then I feel like, the real work begins, right? To try to go deep in CIF again.
Yeah, our first goal is 10-0, but obviously, our long-term goal, and it's been since the summer, is another state championship.
Man, awesome things happening at Ram High right now. Once again, Kody Shinar, quarterback of the Rams, here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks so much, Kody.
Thank you for having me.
Inland Sports.